And now, In the Dirt with Tim Baltz.
Well, welcome race fans to In the Dirt. I'm Tim Baltz. Today we're going to recap what happened at the 13th annual Dirt Outlaw Apparel King Edward Auto Parts Fall Nationals at the Brockville, Ontario Speedway. We had a ton of cars in the pit area across 4 different divisions on Friday night. We're also going to talk to Friday night's 358 Modified winner, his first ever Brockville Speedway win, Corey Wheeler. Back after this.
Big G here for Lennox Fence, Eastern Ontario's fencing specialist.
Fall is upon us. To have your fencing needs done before the snow flies, better call Lennox Fence now. We're the professionals for all your fencing needs. Lennox Fence will complete the job guaranteed perfect. So whatever your fencing needs, residential, commercial, agricultural, or industrial, call Lennox Fence for an estimate. 613-354-3449. Highway 41 at Selby. Lennox Fence, owned and operated by the Houston Group.
Well, welcome back to In the Dirt, ladies and gentlemen. And as I mentioned earlier, we had some great racing this past Friday night at the Brockville, Ontario Speedway as part of the 13th annual Fall Nationals at the Boss. 3 big races, and we did have 4 big races scheduled, but unfortunately Mother Nature decided they were going to rain on our parade, literally, at the Boss. In the 358 Modified division, a lot of great racing took place. Qualifying heat races, there were 5 in total, a lot of cars on hand, and heat winners on Friday night were Corey Wheeler, Gary Lindberg, Ryan Arbuthnot, Luke Whitaker, and Mario Claire. Overall fast time went to none other than Corey Wheeler. Jared Herbison, well, he finally got his first win in a 358 Modified, albeit in a last chance showdown, but he was pretty tickled pink about that. And in the feature, well, Corey Wheeler led every lap, all 60 laps, en route to his first ever Ogilvy's Triple Crown Series win at the Boss. David Hebert, who is a former Fall Nationals champion, ended up second. Kerry Torrance, who won a Super Dirt Car Series race at the Boss, was third. Mario Claire, Steve Bernier were the top 5. Track champion Ryan Arbuthnot finished in 6th, but he ended up claiming the Ogilvy Series championship. And Luke Whitaker, Gary Lindberg, Kyle Dingwall, and Steve Bernard were the top 10. Taking a look at the sportsman side of things, Jared Herbison ran both divisions on Friday night, and he ended up coming away with a heat win, as did William Racine, track champion Bobby Harrington, Felix Waugh, and Cedric Govero. Govero also ended up with the Fast Time Award. Patrick Picatin and Arian Imbalt ended up claiming the last chance showdowns. In the feature, it was yet again another first-time winner at the Boss. Brad Rouse, Dirt Car's all-time winningest sportsman driver, ended up coming away with his first ever Brockville Speedway sportsman win. Cedric Govero was second, followed by William Racine, Felix Waugh. Jessica Power ended up in the number 5 position at the checkered flag, and she ended up claiming her first ever Ogilvy Sportsman Series championship. Sam Charland, he ended up in position number 6, followed by Merrittville regular Greg Panunte. Patrick Picatin was 8th, Ricky Thompson 9th in a borrowed ride, and Dylan Kirkland ended up in the number 10 position. In mini stock action, Hayden Brown, who nearly got the track championship this year at the Boss, he came away with a qualifying heat win to start his night off, as did Dominic Blay and Kyle Gregory, a Brighton Speedway regular. And then Hayden Brown showed everybody, including the invaders, how you get around the Brockville Speedway in a mini stock, claiming his first mini stock championship in the Fall Nationals in his debut, which is very impressive. Jeremy Goyette, Kevin Sabrin, Alexis Charbonneau, who won this very race in 2019, was 4th. Pierre Picard completed the top 5 in the mini stock division. Mark Supernet, Tyson Slinger, Marc-Andre Voyer, Matt Bull, and Colin Tracy, who is making his return to racing, ended up in position number 10. The Action Sprint Tour, they were on hand as well. 3 heat races in total were there for them. Nick Sheridan, Eric Gledhill, and Brett Stratford claimed those. However, Mother Nature decided she was going to claim the rest of the program. That was the recap from Friday night. It was a great night of racing, and we are going to come back with Corey Wheeler, our 358 Modified feature winner, in just a moment.
Big G here for Lennox Fence, Eastern Ontario's fencing specialist.
Fall is upon us. To have your fencing needs done before the snow flies, better call Lennox Fence now. We're the professionals for all your fencing needs. Lennox Fence will complete the job guaranteed perfect. So whatever your fencing needs, residential, commercial, agricultural, or industrial, call Lennox Fence for an estimate. 613-354-3449. Highway 41 at Selby. Lennox Fence, owned and operated by the Houston Group.
So we're back on In the Dirt with Tim Baltz. And joining us on the hotline, none other than the track champion at the Cornwall Motor Speedway and now a two-time Fat Less Chip Stand Canadian National Series champion, Corey Wheeler's in the house. Wheels, what's going on, my man?
Hey, good afternoon, Tim. How are you?
I can't complain, having a good time. It was always it was a great time at the Boss this past weekend. We did a great you guys did a great job out on the racetrack, and I'll tell you what, man, your first ever Brockville Speedway feature win. Take us through that day. That had to be pretty special for you to wheel that thing to victory lane.
That one felt good. I always thought that place owed me one, but we've been close there a lot of times, and we've had a lot of fun racing there. I've raced mini stock, pro stock, sportsman, and modified there, and to think that's our first one there, that's kind of humbling. So it was a lot of fun.
Now, of course, it was part of that Ogilvy series, which everybody seems to want to win one of those races. You know, they're pretty coveted events, and you picked up your first win in just your 8th start. That's pretty impressive stuff. Your previous best was a 3rd-place finish. What does it mean to win one of those series races at either of the local tracks? It must be pretty big.
Yeah, it means a lot. There's a lot of good runners there. Arbuthnot and Dingwall and guys like Danny O'Brien's stuff, and Brian McDonald been strong there a long time. So to be able to sneak in there and get one and not, we don't race there a lot. So, it was big for our team to go to a different track and win a race, and especially the Ogilvy's race. And they've been supporting that series for a long time.
Yeah, and of course, it was part of the Fall Nationals, which is another thing everybody wants to win. I was going through some of your finishes, especially with 358 modified competition over the years. That night pretty much trumped anything you've ever done at the Fall Nationals. It has been not a lot of fun for you at the Fall Nationals, but this past Friday night certainly made up for that, didn't it, bud?
Oh, yeah, we've run 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Seems like we run in the top 5 a lot when we go there for that Fall Nationals race. And I normally only pick up the Saturday race, being the big blocks are there Friday. We work till 5. We just try and scoot up after work Friday, watch, but then catch the Saturday race. And we blew a motor a couple of years ago. We got into the Uke tires a couple of years ago, running 2nd. So it's certainly been a challenging race for us, and always a challenging weekend. But this one here, coming off a couple of big wins in Cornwall, we were able to put it all together and come up with a strong win, we thought.
I kind of found it funny. You and Ryan Arbuthnot pretty much had a spirited battle all race long. I mean, you did have a few car links on him during the entire race, but he was right there and kind of faded towards the end. There was kind of something that I found kind of funny on Sunday morning. We were all kind of standing around the pit area. What did Ryan Arbuthnot give to you as kind of a present to say, hey, welcome to Victory Lane?
Well, he was carrying a box of T-shirts through, and I thought I love having other drivers' T-shirts. It's kind of a collection of mine, and I managed to swindle one off him free of charge, so that felt pretty good from a good buddy of mine.
Did you give him any free Fat Less Chip Stand food or what?
Well, I think he ate it now, so I think he was okay.
Yeah, he's looking like he did anyway.
Look, he wasn't starving.
No, not at all. Of course, your season at the Cornwall Speedway was pretty awesome as well, and it was kind of like 2019. You started to really come on strong there towards the end, and won a lot of big races. And of course, a couple of weeks ago, you ended up getting a couple of big wins worth a lot of cash, didn't you?
Yeah, it seems like my season always starts rolling at the end of July or August. It seems like May and June we're there, and then we're hanging around, and then come July, August, our team seems to pick up the pace a little bit, or things change for us, and then we start gracing victory lane or getting some good finishes. That seems to always been my trend. I can't really pinpoint why, but it's fun. It's fun to pick up wins at the big weekends when there's lots of people there and everyone's having a good time. So it seems to work for us.
Absolutely. And of course, your second straight track championship became the second driver to win the Fat Less Chip Stand Canadian Nationals title in 2020 and in 2021. And, you're just clicking on all 8 cylinders right now, man. And I know you got a lot of people to thank.
Yeah, we actually have a really good race team. It starts with my family, my wife. We have 2 young kids, and my mom and dad, very, very supportive in the background. Lots of encouragement, and I have a super crew. Justin, Joel, Tammy, Matt, Corey, Regenton. Actually, those guys put in a lot of work behind the scenes, and they don't get a lot of a lot of the glory, but they're really the glue that keeps the team together and helps us along the way.
Well, I'll tell you what, Corey, you've had a fantastic season. Let's don't be a stranger to In the Dirt. Join us anytime you want on here. You're more than welcome, buddy.
I think it's great. I think you guys are on to something really good. I'm going to try and tune in all the time. And I was telling you the other day when we were at the track, I said, I thought it's exactly what we needed. And I can't believe we're this late getting to the party, but I think you guys are going to do an awesome job. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to tune in. It reminds me of that show we were talking about This Week on Dirt. So, I used to tune into that regularly. So I'm looking forward to having something else to look forward to. And I'm going to try and show my little guy so he can grow up watching it.
Well, appreciate the kind words, Corey. And we thank you so much for joining us once again on In the Dirt here today. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Well, thanks again, Corey Wheeler, for joining us. And I'll tell you what, best of luck in 2022. Well, of course, we mentioned that Friday night's racing program at the Boss was quite spectacular, actually. Saturday, unfortunately, Mother Nature decided that she was going to come in and just wash the whole day away. We had no racing, no on-track activity at all. So all the racing action got pushed to Sunday, and we gave it our all. We gave it a shot. We did get some racing in. Qualifying heat races were won by Ryan Arbuthnot, Mario Clare, Gary Lindbergh, Luke Whitaker, and Kyle Dingwall in 358 modified action. Kerry Tarrant was fast time in time trials. And of course, we also had time trials for the sportsman division. Sam Charlin, Quebec standout, was fast time there. We also had heat races for the Action Sprint Tour. Nick Sheridan, Daryl Peltier, and Eric Gledhill ended up picking up heat wins. Jacob Dykstra continued his winning ways as we ran the held over 25-lap Action Sprint Tour feature, his 11th series win in 14 tries. And by the way, congratulations to Nick Sheridan on claiming the 2021 Series Championship for the Action Sprint Tour. Unfortunately, Mother Nature decided she was going to rain on our parade yet again at the Boss, and track officials did all they could do to try to get this racing program in. Unfortunately, they decided they were going to have to pull the pin as persistent showers ended up coming through the area all day long. No matter what we did, we tried, but track officials made the decision. They're going to take this same program, and we are going to run it in the spring of 2022. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for another edition of In the Dirt. We'll be back next spring. Don't go anywhere. Don't worry. We'll be back. We got lots of racing excitement still to come. 2022 is right around the corner, and we'll see you in the dirt.